A federal judge on Tuesday doubled the sentence for a former New Orleans police officer who sexually molested a 14-year-old rape survivor he met through work. Last week, U.S. District Judge Lance Afric rejected a 7-year plea deal that Rodney Vickner reached with federal prosecutors, calling it unjustifiably lenient. Afric on Tuesday then signed off on a second plea deal that increased Vickner's sentence to 14 years behind bars. The court is obligated to protect other children from unacceptable criminal behavior, and the court is of the opinion that this sentence does so, said Afric, who was nominated to the court by President George W. Bush. The fact a police officer would engage in this brazen and outrageous conduct is unimaginable. A former emergency medical technician and 13-year veteran of the NOPD, Vickner drove the teen to Children's Hospital for a rape kit exam in May 2020. Shortly thereafter, he began a grooming process that started with sexually charged texts and culminated in rape in September 2020, when Vickner went to the girl's house, locked her in his police vehicle and touched her genitals under her clothing. He made sure she was victimized a second time, Afric said. On separate occasions, Vickner fondled the girl's breasts and buttocks, struck her with his police baton under the guise of roughhousing, forcefully twisted her arm and described how he could easily commit acts of physical violence, such as breaking people's necks, and joked about how he could kill the victim's loved ones, according to a civil complaint filed by the victim's mother. In the years prior to his conviction, Vickner was issued multiple suspensions and a letter of reprimand. 2 disciplinary actions were related to his behavior toward women, including an incident in 2009 in which he inappropriately retrieved a woman's personal information and used it to summon her as she walked in the Ideal Food Market parking lot. This case should send a strong message to law enforcement officers who sexually abuse victims, particularly children, that they are not above the law and will be held accountable, said Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division in an emailed statement. The department's Public Integrity Bureau opened an investigation in 2020 after learning that Vickner had an inappropriate relationship with the victim. The FBI New Orleans field office also investigated the case. Independent police monitor Stella Chimant was present in court Tuesday to monitor the proceedings. "We're here to support those brave enough to come forward to report sexual assault committed by officers," Chimant said. The victim was not present at the sentencing because she was not doing well, her mother said. "Last week was extremely emotional to her to the point where she couldn't find it to come back," said her mother, who is not named to protect the identity of the rape victim. "It was tough." Vickner, 55, is on 24/7 lockdown at his home until May 15, when he must surrender to the Federal Bureau of Prisons to begin his 14-year sentence, after which he will be subject to 5 years supervised release. He also must pay restitution to the victim. That amount will be decided at a hearing on May 3.